Hi, this is Dennis Domzalski here with a little message. This one a little more serious than crazy dumb poems. This one's about lying on resumes or hypocrisy in the workplace, especially amongst those who hire people. The latest victim, if you will, of lying on his resume is a guy by the name of Scott Thompson. He's the CEO of Yahoo. He was just outed as I'm doing this on a Saturday in the Wall Street Journal as he claimed on his resume that he had a degree in computer science when he actually didn't. Apparently, this has been going around for quite a long time. Now, Thompson has been a CEO in other places, PayPal, among other things. He's 54 years old, and it's obvious that he can do the job. Well, just because of this dumb lie or oversight, whatever you want to call it, on his resume, one of Yahoo's largest stockholders is demanding that this guy be fired by noon on Monday or they'll take other action. Well, I just wanted to talk about the stupidity and the hypocrisy of this stuff. My reaction to this is that, so he lied on his resume? Big deal. Who doesn't lie on their resume? The truth is, almost everybody does in a lot of ways because we live in this insanely credentialed society that demands credential after credential after credential, and we demand credentials instead of actual work experience or being able to do the job. Computers review resumes now, not human beings, and these computers are programmed to catch certain things. So if you don't put a certain phrase in, or obviously if you omit one and the computer doesn't find it, you're never going to get the job. So even if you might not have exactly that skill that they're looking for, guess what? You're going to put it down so that the computer can flag it. And as long as we demand these hyper credentials of people, and now that we demand employees to be superhuman beings, people are going to continue to lie, and I think the lying is even going to get worse. It goes like this. And here's what happens on resumes, and I've seen a lot of them. If once, just once, you helped a coworker, colleague, master a new skill, say maybe learn Excel or do something, PowerPoint or something in Microsoft Word, you didn't just help that person. You are now a mentor who has trained colleagues to master new skills that are critical to the company's core mission. Now, that is as big as a lie saying that you have a degree when you don't. But it sounds good. And recruiters in interviews, they just love that stuff. They don't just love it, they demand it. So try doing this in an interview, your next interview. Say something like this. Yeah, I took a couple hours one day and showed Ed how to use Excel. It was no big deal after he got used to it. So, yeah, I helped the guy a little. You know what they'll do? They'll throw you out for failing to be a mentor. Now, imagine. Here's another thing that goes on. People load up their resumes with examples, so-called examples of community service. They list scores, dozens of boards and commissions that they're on, which, of course, a lot of bosses love. Now, the problem is that most of that stuff is fraudulent as well. Because if these people were actually participated in all those organizations and boards that they claim they're on, they would never have time to actually do their jobs or go home and take care of their families. What they do is they put these on their resumes and they join these boards. They never show up. They're there just to pad their resume. So they don't actually do the stuff. Now imagine if you're asked in an interview about your record of community service and you answer something like, I don't have one. Look, I work 50 hours a week, got a family, and when I'm off, I'm dead tired, and I like to spend it with my family, my time. And when I'm off, you know what I also like to do? I like to pop a few beers, relax, and watch war movies. Guess what? You ain't going to get the job. They'll kick you right out of the interview. And when it comes to college degrees, this is the insanity of this and the hypocrisy of this workforce situation that we're now in. Most of these things, with some exceptions, of course, couldn't be more useless, especially if you've been doing the job for more than 20 years. If you have been in the workforce that long, most of the stuff that you learned in college, guess what? It's obsolete. That's because everything has moved so quickly. Technology has raced along. And if you've been in the workforce that long and you've succeeded, You've learned more on the job, including new technologies, new skills, than you ever did or could have learned in school. So why do these people keep asking what kind of college degrees you had 40 years ago? It's stupid and it's hypocritical. Now, a lot of older workers don't have college degrees. A long time ago, you could actually learn stuff on the job. A long time ago, people hired if you had experience in lieu of a college degree. And nowadays, if people are honest on their resumes and say they didn't finish college, well, guess what? They're never going to get past the computer and called for an interview. And if they do lie, well, that self-righteous interviewer, who most likely has padded his or her resume with goofy stuff like mentoring and boards and commissions, they'll become indignant. Now, here's a good example. It's a good thing that the late Steve Jobs started his own company. That's right, Apple Computer. Because his resume would never make it past a computer today because guess what? The founder of Apple never finished college. Biggest company in the world now, and he wouldn't be able to get hired if he so chose to. So there's got to be a better and more honest way to hire people. And the standard should be whether someone can actually do the job, not whether they have a degree, not what degrees they have or they don't have. And until we can actually find a better way, most everybody in this workforce is going to continue to lie on their resumes. I've posted a blog about this on f-brilliant at blogspot.com. I hope you'll go read it. Have a good time out there and see you next time.